I will leave this link of all these patents of General Electric's patents that were granted. Here's 114682327. A computer implemented system is provided that includes a learning network component that determines respective weights assigned to respective node inputs of the learning network. Let's go look at it. Let's see, GE Precision Healthcare. So this is the AI, artificial intelligence system for facial recognition. It can pick up who you are. So there's your facial recognition, which can pick up your predictive portion. So it's going to be able to see or identify if something's just by the face. Trainable enables predictive portion of the AI system to recognize the importance of each respective input supplied thereto for generating future predictions. For the second half of this video, or maybe this is a new video entirely, depending on how long this goes, I'm going to go look at Alice again real quick. So here's the original book on Alice. And looking at Alice, the first edition cover was 1865, and if you look at that and reduce that, so it's 1865, and if you just take the 1 and 8, that's 9, and 6 and 5 is 11. And I know I always bring up Genesis, but C sign, Genesis is C sign, and so when I look at Alice, you can also break it down to C a lie. 1865 is also world currency. So here's sad little Alice. Look at her. Okay, so she's holding a pig. She doesn't look happy, but she's holding a pig. And the numerology behind that, holding a pig, is 102. You flip that around, that's 201, like event 201 that started and kicked off this whole COVID thing, which they used to justify all the needlecraft. So there's Alice in Wonderland. Look at the numerology there, 978, 163. So isn't this interesting and kind of sad? It's Alice in Wonderland is also Make America Great Again. It's the same numerology. And Make America Great Again in the Jewish gematria, 426. Is also mind control. 426 is mind control. The author, Lewis Carroll. Just a few anagrams. I didn't spend much time on this. War cries, LOLL, and then wire collars, L wire collars, and L equals killed in action or caged. And looking again at holding a pig, the Jewish gematria. No, I'll look at simple gematria at the 102 is Father Ray, human gods, Charlotte, as in Charlotte, remember the pig? Or no, sorry, Charlotte the web, what was that? Charlotte, I remember Charlotte's Web, like the web, like the net, slavery, Windsor, as in Windsor Castle, Gravedigger, Wuhan, China, and Valentine. And you know, on the Alice in Wonderland, we see a lot of the hearts with her, and of course she's wearing an apron, which is for the Masons. So there's a Mason's apron. There's your little Eye of Horus. You got your little wheat things on the side there. You got your compass, and you got the G for God. So there's Alice with her apron with all the cards. Interesting, the other day in San Diego during one of the Padre games, a goose landed on the field. So interesting, they show this goose on the field at the Padre game, and they're going to keep on playing, and they've got the Corona in the background. They're calling it a duck, but it's a goose. And it's between the Dodgers and the Padres. You got number 21 there. Goose happens to be 202 and 61. You flip that upside down, that's 19. So goose also happens to be king cobra, hidden meaning farmer. Did you all hear about the new thing where they want people to register all their gardens? Goose is also QAnon, which is 201, event 201. Okay, so holding the pig thing, also looking at the Jewish gematria at 215, God as a code, attack, die fast, Andromeda, Romeo, poet, which Gates is part of the Poet Society, chlorine, and DNA chips. But also look at this Andromeda, sorry, I put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. So Andromeda, her name is Latinized form Greek. It means ruler of men. You think when that needlecraft takes over and everyone, like General Electric's got patents on what was in that jab, you think that they're going to be able to own those people? Yeah, protect or rule over is a name for Andromeda. So here she is, watch your eyes, cover your children's eyes. Here she is chained to the side of a rock with the crocodile getting in there. So part of the story is Poseidon sends the sea monster Cetus to ravage the coast of, Ethiopia as divine punishment. I think because her mother bragged that she was really pretty or something. And so Andromeda is chained to a rock like black rock, as a sacrifice to satiate the monster, but is saved from death by Perseus. So when you look at Poseidon, again, we've got poisoned. Remember Urari's or Harari, whatever his name is. And then we have the Cetus is scute. And I looked at what that means, scute, plural, for shield, is a bony external plate or scale overlaid with horn, as on the shell of a turtle, the skin of crocodiles, which is that, TikTok with Peter Pan. And Andromeda, if you look at the anagrams, it could be or dead man, or you could look at it after someone's taken the jab and they become transhuman. They're either man or dead. So looking at Andromeda here, it says as a subject, Andromeda has been popular in art since classical times. Rescued by a Greek hero, Andromeda's narration is considered the forerunners to the princess and dragon motif. We've seen the princess and the dragon, or at least the dragon, a lot. Talk about Renaissance interest revived in the original story, typically as derived from Ovid's Metamorphoses, which, if you look at it, that shot, it will metamorphosize people. There's your 9/11 in there. So Andromeda is saved by Perseus. The Greek Perseus is the legendary founder of Mycenae, and let's see, go down. He beheaded. Remember all those guillotine things that Obama bought, or at least had made or something. There's lots of guillotines in the United States. So Andromeda's consort is Perseus, and a consort is a companion or partner. And Perseus can also be seen as peruse, which means to observe or examine. It's also conduct research. Look at that. They spelled that wrong with another E. Extra E. Look at that. Is that on purpose? 3 E's? Like Erickson, the electrical stuff. Conduit. Andromeda, the anagram, is rad made on. Also, I looked a little bit into the RAD. It's reactive attachment disorder. Now, read this. Reactive attachment disorder, RAD, is a condition where a child doesn't form healthy emotional bonds with their caretakers, it's the parental figures, often because of emotional neglect or abuse at an early age. You think any of these face masks are going to create little psychopaths? So children with RAD have trouble managing their emotions. Imagine that. They struggle to form meaningful connections with other people. And how can you if you can't ever see anyone else's real expressions? So here's another interesting illustration. You've got the phoenix bird in the background there. It looks like a crow also. All these cards. The hearts. There's 1010. Isn't that interesting though? 1010 equals that. And that. Raymond Day. Raymond. Ray. Interesting too. 1010. Demean and destroy campaign. You think by getting people to wear masks and stuff, that's not denigrating? And the pyramid mind control. That's 1010. So also Andromeda born Ethiopia. Just wanted to look her offspring. One of them is Electron. Electron also is telecrony, like the FCC has a lot of those. A close friend, especially of a long-standing, a pal. Usually it has a negative connotation. Can also be looked at as cryon telly, like cryon the telly, like everyone should be getting rid of their phones actually. Let's see, the cryons were the original native, now this is just fandom, were the original native inhabitants of the planet Telos before being conquered and almost entirely wiped out by the Cybermen. Cybermen, like Silicon Valley people. Cryons were an all-female species of psychrophilic humanoids which thrive in freezing conditions, because we're actually going to be going into colder weather with all this weather manipulation, and can't survive in temperatures above 0. They have gray translucent skin, deep sunken round eyes protected by transparent lenses. Oh my, he fits the bill. But Andromeda's consort, Perseus, who has winged sandals, and when we look at the winged sandals, we come with that name again, the Jesus coding 111, that's 111. Wilbur is in that pig that Charlotte was holding. Remember when Wilbur the pig? And Walt Disney and World Order. Those are also the numerical equivalents. Oh yeah, I was going to go look at the electron. And when I saw the anagrams for that, it's tri-elect on. And when I looked up the word elect, just E-L-E-C, what came up with is electrical engineering. And they showed this picture with this. That looks like that grid system that I showed the other day. I'll show it again. And that includes activity sectors of telecommunications, electromagnetics, control systems, electrical circuits. That came up with the sun, and that also remind me of Silicon Valley, which is slight eco-villains. Go green. And look what that came up with too. General Electric. So when we go back up to Perseus, to observe, to examine, conduct research on, with 3 E's. Isn't that interesting? Research. But anyhow, from the first part of this video, if I put both of these together, this might be a second part of my the word part 4. But embedded arm, let's go look at that in gematria. We've got planned and shocked. We've got chips, Lucifer, deep sea, and they've also got the number 444. I don't know if you guys see that, but that's coming up a whole lot in my books. So you can go look at the AIS data transmission as well, and you've got receivers, signals, like for senders and receivers. Usually if you can receive, you can send too. Armin Dammon. I'll leave this link too, just showing all the patents for AIS data transmission. Okay, sorry you guys, I was distracted a little bit. Anyhow, here's some injectable electronic identification, monitoring, and stimulus systems. This also talks about, where's our RFID tags. I'll leave the link to this, but I'm going to go to somewhere else now, looking at General Electric. So here are some General Electric patents. There's many of them. Implantable device systems. Here's one in 2008. Here's one in October 21st, 2008. Filed. So date of patent is June 14th, 2016. Look at this real quick. It says implantable device system is disclosed. Implantable device system includes a first energy transceiver system, a second energy transceiver system at least partially implanted within an organic tissue and capable of communication with the first energy transceiver system, and a sensing system capable of communication with the second energy transceiver system. An implantable device system array is also disclosed. A method of monitoring a physical parameter is also disclosed. So the date of the patent was June 14, 2016. Inventors, EMAD, great. There's the patent number 9364362. So when it mentions a method of monitoring a physical parameter, physical parameters are stress, motion, temperature, vibration, heart rate, acceleration, cardiovascular or neurological diseases, hypertension, chronic obstructive pulmonary, whatever. So here, parameters. So basically you can take your biofeedback. So interesting, being described in 102. It says the energy exchange between the first energy transceiver system, 102, and the second energy transceiver system may be electromagnetic energy belonging to any region of the electromagnetic energy frequency spectrum. Non-limiting examples of the regions include microwave, radio wave, visible, infrared, X-ray, gamma, and combinations thereof. So it says that energy exchange between the first and the second energy transceiver system may be acoustic or vibrational energy. When the energy exchange is acoustic or vibrational energy, the energy can belong to the ultrasonic or lower frequency ranges. In addition, when the energy is being used for communication, it may be transmitted as an analog signal and may further include a carrier electromagnetic energy wave. So non-limiting examples of possible types of sensors include capacitive sensors, piezoelectric sensors, thermal sensors. This is in one embodiment, the invention. The second energy transceiver system may itself be composed of a set of individual components. The set of individual components include a processing unit, an energy conversion, storage component, a tunable antenna, and a tuning control component. The processing unit may have the further ability to accept instructions from, for instance, the patient and or a medical doctor. The processing unit has the further capability or process via a variety of algorithms, the inputs that it receives to generate information. I'm just wondering, how far they've taken this. Like when they say embedded, I just wonder, in their programmable logic device, it's just interesting. Microcontroller. So the energy conversion and storage component may be placed wholly or partially with organic tissue composing the patient, or it may be placed outside of the patient. I wonder if that would include like a cell phone. Non-limiting examples of organic tissue where the energy conversion and storage component may be placed, including gastrointestinal tract. So basically, if you eat or consume something, I guess that could go into your gastrointestinal tract, a thorax, and an abdomen. It says, for instance, when the source of energy of the energy conversion and storage component is solar, the energy conversion and storage component may be placed subcutaneously, that's under the skin. And they talk about rechargeable batteries here too, using the lithium. Interesting, because there's a lot of lithium batteries in those, the electric cars that are just exploding. Yeah, you sure want to be sitting on that, don't you? Wow, talk about hot buns. This says here, EV, that's electric vehicle, is a ticking time bomb. You think they're just being charged up. Wow, that's on Yahoo advertisement. Of course it's Getty. Yep, I would avoid those. Plus Soros has his fingers in this whole thing. That's a mess in itself. Okay, so I'm rambling. So anyhow, here's these tracking systems. They are putting it subcutaneously, even if they act like it's just for maritime or whatever. Each one of those little identifier things, I think, may as well just be a cell phone, just tracking you. Operating systems, control rooms, what's the difference? Okay guys, see you later.